Okay, so this is the introduction to part 2 of Ruby's Teardown. So in this video, we'll pretty much be starting off where we left off last time, which was pretty much draining the coolant and stuff. Except, you'll see I got a little farther than that. So we'll do from there to the end. The end is going to be right where I can finally be the point where I can start removing things, big things, out of the engine bay. So, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys at the end. Okay, so I got pretty far. I took the crash bar out, the bumper held on 10 mils. These little bolts, I think these are, again, maybe 6 mil, 7 mil. And these are 13s. There's 2 on this side, 4 on this side. Then there's another support that goes right here, which would be that one right there. I had 2 10 mils on either side. Harness, pulled the radiator out, disconnected this line, that's radiator and a cooler setup right there. So now I pulled the thermostat housing that had a 10, and underneath is a 13, and then over here there's another 10 mil, and then now I'm pulling the intake manifold off fuel rail, so you disconnect the fuel line. I did it from the back so it's not on top of the motor. And then there's 5 10 mil bolts on the intake. There's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. And the injector harness, And yeah, so now I'm going to finish taking these bolts out. I'm sorry I didn't get it earlier, but the camera died, so I want to get progress done. So yeah, now I'll be finished pulling these ones out. So I got the lower intake off with the 5 bolts. Next I'm going to try and get power steering reservoir out, and then I'll get the thermostat housing out so I can get more access to this area. And again, everything is drained, obviously. I had a bucket here, it's okay. So yeah, let's get this power steering reservoir. I think those are probably 13s or 12s. I'll probably just get the reservoir off because I don't want to take the pump off. I'll just take the reservoir. I think these are the 2 12mm bolts on this side. I don't know if there's any on the other side. It is drained, so don't worry about that. And then we'll get this thermostat housing out of the way, and probably also this air conditioning hose. So, yes sir. Okay, so I had to pull the headlight out in order to get, there is a 3rd bolt. These are 12 mils, and then this is an Allen key in there. So yeah, I don't remember this. I don't know the size of the Allen key, but that's the Allen key that goes in there. And then undo that, and then you can pull the reservoir out. So once literally that reservoir is out of the way, it makes it very easy to get to these bolts. But I'm going to remove this side of the air conditioning system so it's out of the way up top. It's already unbolted from the thermostat housing earlier. And just 1 bolt down here. And because the radiator's out, the other one is in a charge in the system anyway. So I'll take that 1 bolt out. So yeah, I'm going to need a bigger ratchet on it though. Oh, maybe not. There you go. I'll probably be replacing all these gaskets. Or if I just don't put AC back in the car, I'll just do an AC delete kit. AC would be beneficial, but it's not necessary. You know, it'd be better to have it than not have it. And my lens is now dirty. So if you have blue painter's tape, I would recommend putting a piece of blue painter's tape over these, which I'm going to go get later. But for now, I'm just going to put paper towels in here, and same with the power steering pump, just because you don't want to have something fall in there. And then you got to start the car, it kicks on, and then you just kill it, you know? You have to come all apart again to replace it. So let's get the thermostat housing out. It appears there's 1 coolant hose here. There's a sensor with heat, you know, those nice things that break immediately. And there's 3 10mm bolts, 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top, and this 1 hose, which is still malleable, so that should be easier to come off. Thank the gods. Okay, so I took those 3 bolts out, and look how gummy this thing is. That's not supposed to look like that, and I assume that's what it's going to look like mostly in the head. There's a gasket in here, I believe. Maybe it's just, yeah, there's a gasket. Very small gasket. That's the gasket right there. So I'll save this over there for now. And I'm going to get this clamp off here, pull that back, and while you're in here, I'll just replace, you know, your your temperature sensor and thermostat if you haven't. Because, you know, that's been down in there, so yeah. So I'll disconnect it probably from here, so I have the entire hose on here. I don't, again, more room is better. So I'll disconnect it from this clamp if I can. If not, I'll disconnect it from that one and then get this up out of the way. I got a decent amount of fighting. Got the hose out. It did have a slight tear in it, so I'll probably have to be replacing it. But she's nasty. So she'll be getting replaced. Also, just gonna get this out of the way because that's just annoying being there. Well, I did exactly what I told you guys not to do, and I covered it too. Look at that. There's a piece of like the stupid wrap on it. So now I disconnected these to get them out of the way. And I'm gonna have to remove the actual freaking compressor and try and get it upside down without letting that fall anywhere else. So I gotta take this belt off, which I have to do anyway, but I have to again. I might just disconnect it, slide it up, and just take the belt off that way. I can't believe I just did that. So they're 13 mils. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 all around the compressor, and then there's a bracket behind it that you don't have to get to. So there's 2 hookups. There's a pressure, sensor, and then the clutch. And there's just 4 13 mils all around it. So yeah. So I got the compressor out, and I did get that piece out. Thank God. It's compressor chilling over there. I do need a new belt, and this idler pulley is destroyed. Look at that. Bearings, but I think for my sake, I'll pull, I think these are probably 4 15 mils. So 4 15 mils, I'll pull this whole bracket off with the idler pulley and tensioner. I'm gonna have to get all new with this. Look at this shit. So I'll get all new. Harness spaghetti. So put these in, take these bolts out, and then put the big bolts back in the block. It's probably a good spot, time to, replace your starter while you're down here. This pump's good. The power steering pump I know is good. Compressor I'm pretty sure shit itself anyway, so I might just be doing a delete. Well, I hope you guys, it's supposed to look like this and have that rubber thing in it. Completely deteriorated, so you get a new one of those. Great. Well, under some closer inspection, this is actually the entire motor mount bracket that goes to that horizontal mount down there. So I'm gonna have to get a jack under it, and I really don't want to, so I'm just gonna put like 2 bolts back in here. So yeah, don't take that out. So I'll make a different approach. I just completely remove the mount and the other engine mount shown right there, just because it doesn't make a difference to me right now. I'm just gonna pull this off too as well, because this is still a horizontal mount that's holding the engine, and the vertical mounts are good. So yeah. So these are 13 mils, the 2 ones here, and then the other big ones are 15s. So I got the power steering pump out. That's chilling now right here. These will all go inside, so they don't get damaged and get stuff in them. So, oh my God, that mount's heavy. Cast iron, don't you love it? It's like a cast iron block aluminum head. Not too good of a mix idea. Shit. And back to that. So I got a little farther. I somehow got it in the air. I got this tire off. Got the flywheel off. That was a pain. Or the crank pulley, quote unquote, off. I haven't touched them here. Got this bracket out of the way. Crank pulley is again hard to get off. That's out. So next, I think put a jack under it. But first I want to get it on the jacks. I just came back from Harbor Freight. Now it's dark out. So I got a 3-ton low profile jack and 3-ton Daytona jack stands, because I don't know how much I should trust my jack stand from like 1960 something, and then a bottle jack and a really old 2-ton jack from Harbor Freight. So I just purchased some new stuff. I'll probably be using the 2-ton just to support the motor while I'm in there, and the bottle jack, it's the bottle jack. So right now I have this tire off. I have the old jack stand chilling, holding that up, and then this side I think had the bottle jack there, but it's now back on the ramp because I don't want it to go to the store and then see that bottle jack failed and fall. So, and so it's day 2. I'll be getting the other jack stand under it because that one's chilling here still. Get this ramp out of the way, tire off. Then most likely be pulling the axles out of it, and these brakes have to get replaced anyway, but I'm not going to do that just yet because they still work.
So I guess I'll assume I'll take the shock out, drop the axle head down, and get the axle shaft out and turn it, you know. I think I can get it out that way then. Okay, so it's up on jack stands, and I'll be pulling this plug out right here, which is where the vertical motor mount is. I have a different lens on today, tell me if you guys notice. I think it focuses a little bit better, but I'll pull this cover off, and I'll be right back, and that cover goes to this motor mount bolt. That motor mount goes right into this cast iron mount, and this side of the motor pretty much be free, because I don't want to drop the motor just yet. The only reason is I have to get to this clutch. I don't want to drop it as a whole assembly. That's my main thing I do not want to do, so I can't really put the car anywhere. So you know, rather pull the transmission first, have it on a jack, the engine, and then pull the engine out. I believe it could just pull the axle shafts out. I think there's another, there's the intermediate shaft behind the engine to go take a look at. But I think you pull the starter out, all these bolts, that mount, linkage, sensors, wire stuff, and the axles. I think that's it, I think. So we'll see about that. Okay, so I don't have the torque bolt because that thing is huge. I don't have the, what's it called, Torx adapter. I believe it's like a 40 or something. It's huge. So I'll be having to go get one of those, look that up. In the meantime, I think I'm going to pull this side apart, get this axle shaft out if I can, and see how much transmission fluid I leak. Alright, so I got this entire side out. One thing I did realize is, see this? Look at that. That bearing bushing is blown out right there. It's just gone. So, I mean, the bearing's still good. Just popped out of its thing. Hopefully I can pop it back. I didn't pull it out on it, you know, so these axles are still good. I don't know about that though. I believe this is one long axle, unless it splits, because I don't want to pull it from the transmission, which I may have already. So if it is, I might as well just pull it all the way out. But again, I don't want fluid going everywhere, because that's like the fluid level. I know this entire thing fills with fluid. So yeah, I mean, that's the axle. I'm going to probably, the only reason I took it all off is because I feel like while I'm in here I have to replace the brakes anyway. I might as well do the wheel bearing. It's not that hard while it's all out of here. I mean, these shocks are still good. I don't know if it's worth getting new ones. But these are OEM shocks, so those are the good ones. So now I'll go to the other side. Alright, so I know that my neighbor's using the blower in the background, but got both sides torn apart. So the shock bolts are 21 mils, I believe. The axle's a 32. I don't remember what the other ones are. Now I'm going to start tackling the exhaust in the back. Also, look how loose the motor is now. So you can literally shake the entire motor around. So she's almost ready to come out. Oh, I'm also going to take this crossbar out because it gives me more access, and I believe these are 12s. They're 13s at the bottom. There's 4 of them, 2 on each side. You can get this crossbar out, radiator support. Cool. Alright, once again, I know he has the thing right in the background. So I'm going to take the starter out. I believe these are 15s. There's 2 15 mils, I think. There's the electrical harness and then the switch power. So yeah. This green one here is for this one, which is the horizontal. And the white or yellow one is for the vertical axis. And the green one goes to the bottom mount, white one goes to the top mount. It's on camera, there we go. The camera likes to focus wherever it wants to. Those are the 2 mounts. These are the 2 cables I've put down here. So yeah. Okie dokie. So I know that I ended this video at a weird note. But it's a lot of days that were how to get cut down over like 2 hours worth of footage. So you'll see a lot of these videos are going to be kind of choppy. Some of them won't match up with each other. It's just, you'll see in the next video after this one how crazy things got. After all these videos are posted, I will be posting a fully, almost 2 hour long, unedited version of me and my buddies working on my car.
you know, of the entire thing. At this time, everything's done to the car. I don't want to spoil it, but the car's torn apart, and in a couple months you'll see what I mean, because I'm obviously not gonna throw this together as fast as I can because I want you guys to have some suspense. But it's when that 3 hour or 2 hour video is out, that's gonna be the one I think most people are gonna want to watch, because it's just comedy. It's not even like trying to be serious. As soon as my friends come in, it just begins the craziness, and that's what you'll see in the next video. So, peace out, you guys. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.